Hey, Brittany, I actually got a little furry friend, and we're going to talk to Minnie, right? Minnie is at it. But first, we have Pam Sordell, and she is the Puppy Mill Awareness Group. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Well, sure. I'm glad you brought Minnie and woke her up out of bed as well. And so tell us a little bit about your group. You're with the Puppy Mill Awareness, and what does that exactly advocate?
Right. We're a meetup group. We primarily do outreach activities in Southeast Michigan and Flint. We have about 400 members. We've been active for 3 years. And our mission is to end the mass production of commercial breeding, dog breeding, in puppy mills.
Okay, and I know that you've been talking about a lemon law of sorts that's been, you guys have kind of been a main proponent of putting that into action. What is that all about?
Yeah, we're very excited. Senator Beta of Warren has introduced a pet lemon law last month. It still has to go through committee. It's a consumer protection bill that will give purchasers recourse if they purchase a sick animal. Dogs, cats, and ferrets are the animals that are covered in this bill, and it would give them options such as replacing the animal for a full refund, or they could get some money back for their veterinary bills.
All right. Well, I hope coming up later in the show you can tell us, how to go about getting an animal that's safe and also, good for them as well.
Right.
So we'll check back in with you just a little bit. Brittany, we're going to check back in with you for some headlines this morning. Joining me is Pam Sordell, and she's with the Puppy Mill Awareness Group. And you brought some actually really appalling pictures with you. If we can just hold these up and we can talk more about what you do with them and what you guys are, trying to promote.
Right. Well, with the pet lemon law, in going to committee, we think it will help shine the spotlight on commercial breeding. So the dogs are sick. People are buying sick dogs from pet stores and breeders and dealers on the internet, and they're sick because they come from places just like this. This is a USDA commercial breeder in Michigan.
So the USDA has approved this.
They have approved it. They cited this kennel with rusted cages, which you cannot clean. So these are unsanitary conditions. This one is a water receptacle that is rusted as well.
Right here, that's what we're looking at.
They're all rusted, so they can't clean these things. So this is why the animals. This is one reason why the animals are sick. And then this one was cited for not having a veterinary program. This dog's eyes have some inflammations, and it was not treated. So they're cutting costs by not getting veterinary care, and then they're selling them at a really young age. So their immune systems are not developed, and they're transported long distances, usually from the Midwest, to our pet stores. So this is why the puppies are sick, because they're so young. Their immune systems can't handle the transport, and they carry diseases.
Well, I hope, coming up later in the show, you can maybe tell us how to go about getting a safe pet, and that's good for everybody involved. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Brittany proposed pet lemon law, which will soon be heard by state legislators. It'll offer consumer protection to people who buy sick or diseased animals from pet shops or breeders from around the state. And joining me this morning is Pam Sordell from the Puppy Mill Awareness Group to talk more about that. And you brought a special friend with you this morning.
This is Maggie. She's a rescue dog from an animal sanctuary, and she's another unpaid volunteer for us.
And so what's Maggie's story? How is she involved with this?
Well, she does some outreach for us to teach kids about how great rescue dogs are.
Okay.
So we're trying to change the culture. Two-thirds of American homes have companion animals, and half of them come from breeders and pet stores. So we're trying to change the culture to where people find rescue dogs really cool. They're pre-owned and pre-trained.
I think once people visit a shelter or find a sheltered dog, everyone has that compassionate, inside themselves, and it feels so good when you rescue a shelter animal, because you see them where they are in their situation, and you know that you can help that dog,
and they certainly appreciate it.
And so, talk about this lemon law a bit, and even though it's being proposed to legislators, let's see if we get Maggie over here.
Here, Maggie. Well, 18 other states have lemon laws, and this one is very comparable. It offers congenital provisions, so if there's hereditary defects in the dog, they have 90 days to report it. Otherwise, they have 30 days to report normal illnesses, and that gives people time to go to their vet, get the dog checked out.
You know what? Maggie sees a mom. That's why she's distracted right now.
Maggie. So we think it's going to be a great thing for the public to have recourse, because a lot of people suffer emotional stress caring for a sick animal.
Sure.
And enormous vet bills. And some people have to care for the animal their whole life with digestive problems or skin conditions. So they end up paying, for 10 years, expensive vet bills.
If you were to go through a vet, how is that, better not only for your vet bills, but also, general health, the animal's general health? Obviously, every story is going to be different when you go into a shelter, but is there help available?
Well, some shelters have veterinary clinics on site, but all shelters have veterinary care provided to the animal. So there's misconception that shelter dogs are sick and they carry diseases too, just like any dog, but they're treated at their shelter. So, but you're actually more likely to get an ill dog from a pet store or breeder because they come from these bad conditions from the bad breeders.
All right, well, thank you for enlightening us with all this information, and we're going to check back in with you one more time during the show, but for now we're going to check in with Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. We are talking about puppy mills, and with us, Liz and Yoshi joining us and to tell us a pretty interesting story. We were with Pam Swordell this morning talking about puppy mill awareness, and you've got a pretty interesting story to bring to the table, right?
Yes, I purchased this little guy from a Yorkshire breeder in Michigan that I found online, and was promised that he was 100% healthy. And as I've had him for 11 months, only to find out he's been diagnosed and has been suffering from 3 congenital hereditary defects and will require surgery in the next few months to within the year. The guarantee that I was given, written guarantee from the breeder for pet quality, what am I trying to say?
Well, pet health,
Yes, of everything that's congenital and hereditary. I was forced to take her to court, and I lost in court.
Okay, and so were you looking for a pure breed, and that's why you're driven to this place?
Yes, I was looking for a small type because I live in an apartment, and they have a size limitation. So I really needed to stay within the 6-pound limit.
So what have you learned from this experience?
I have learned that Michigan has no laws protecting the consumer or the animals that a lot of irresponsible breeders are breeding. And
so if someone is looking for a purebred, where can they go look for one that's reputable?
I would look at petfinder.com.
Okay.
They do have purebreds there that are in need of a home. And I would petition for the puppy lemon law to be passed. Because that will protect these animals from being
people or dogs like Yoshi don't have to suffer as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz, for joining us this morning. Yoshi, you as well. And we're going to check in with Brittany with more news headlines. Good morning.